try my best to keep up with news, policies, research that's coming down the line. A good example of this is IPCC reports. When I know there's a published date, I'm already starting to collect information. I'm trying to get like a draft of the policy summary because it's inevitable that misinformation will come out of that. What I've realized is that climate communicators, especially who use platforms like TikTok and Instagram, are left out of press calls. So we want to do the pre-bunks, but we're not given the resources or the access to be able to do that.
I like a strong science background, so I will always go back to the abstracts. So that's kind of how I combat my own messaging, but I try to simplify it. But I feel like because I have that skill set, I'm at an advantage of being able to combat misinformation, whereas maybe the everyday audience member isn't.
Through my journey, I actually found that concentrating on what my audience wants and needs from me kind of creates sort of a mental health situation for myself. So I try to concentrate on what I'm passionate about and what I'm pushing out that I think is helping the world.
I have my own measure of success, which is whether or not I'm sharing the messages that I believe are central to ocean climate solutions or nature-based solutions. I just want people to understand them. I want people to understand that they all exist and they just need to be scaled, and that there's people doing the work already.
If you don't feel comfortable on camera or telling the story yourself, I would definitely try to outsource to content creators, people like me who are science communicators online. I think we really need to team up with more scientists. I've actually worked with more researchers to help build out my scripts for videos and content, and it'd be really cool to see more science researchers or people in academia doing that. I
would just empower a Gen Z intern, and you can, I do this now at the company that I run, the Conservationist Collective. I have all these messages I want to get out there, but it can be intense to figure out how to put it into shape on social media. And so I'll say this is what I want to talk about related to endangered shark species. I give her some facts, and then it's up to her to use the trends and package it. And what I found is that these young people, that's a natural skill that they have.
One thing that I've learned is to treat it as something that's fun and a part of your passion, if you can. I find that being authentic to the work that you're doing and how you relate it back to your everyday life really is helpful to creating a really good social media product.
Practice in the mirror, talking to yourself. Just looking at what you look like, just talking to yourself. Some people don't even like doing that. I don't necessarily always like doing that, but actually looking at yourself in the mirror, start talking to yourself like you're talking to a friend about the work that you do, and just keep practicing that and see your facial expressions and your tone inflection and see how that evolves over time. And then lastly, I would say record a piece of content. Just, rough draft it, do it, get into it, just be okay, I'm gonna just make this content, I don't care how bad it is, and then send it to your friends and family, people you trust and know the most, and be do you like this? I'm totally down to get any feedback, just don't, hate on me too badly, but let me get some feedback on did this really sound like me?
Think about your nation's science. Think about the strongest message that you want. What would be your topic sentence on your abstract? And package it in a bunch of different ways on social media. Package it in video, package it with trending sounds that are funny. Try to find what works for you. But start with the stuff you're most comfortable with, because that's the stuff that you understand the best, right? And we don't want to spread misinformation. And you're only going to get better if you start. So start now, and practice ends up making perfect. And if we waited till our content was perfect, we would never be putting anything out there, and we wouldn't be able to make this change, and I wouldn't be here if I didn't start. So you should start.